Hello, everyone. Welcome to Clientology Daily Insights. I am your host, Jeff Bourgeois, and today we're going to talk about how I can help you. And this is sincere, it's genuine, there's no ulterior motive. I love connecting people. I shared a video on my thoughts on the Go Giver. My personal title for how I proceed through the world, how I make my way, I am the curator of connections. And one of the things I get asked a lot is, would you mind introducing me to so and so? And the reality is, absolutely, I love connecting people and I don't look for what's in it for me. I love making the connections. However, what I do expect is that when I make a connection, it is something that you follow up with and that you actually take action. So, one of the things I do is if I introduce people and neither party is following through, guess what? I don't make a second introduction and I definitely won't follow up to make sure the two of you have connected. um, and I do keep track of that in my little database. And it's not that I'm petty or mean. It's just I don't want to waste my network's time introducing people who aren't a fit. So one of the things I've figured out is that one-to-one connecting is not the best use of my time. And really, truly, it's not the best use of your time either. So the way I like to help people is I love to have connectors. I love to have people who solve business problems on one of my podcasts. And I say one of because I have multiple. And the reality is, depending on who you are and what you do, you might be a fit for a different podcast. Now, the main brand I'm using is my Clientology podcast, where we focus on guests who help with either marketing, so the science of attracting, or we help interview people who are in the sales area, the science of converting, or we love, and this is my favorite place, people who are specialists in deliver. And deliver is about delivering wow. So it doesn't have to be that you're an expert and you teach people, but if you run a business and you're particularly proud of something and how you deliver a wow experience, I'd love to talk to you. And so, what I tell all of my guests is that to be a guest on my podcast, it's not about how many people does the podcast reach. That's just a vanity metric. It makes us all feel good. If 10,000 people were to download my podcast, I could brag about it and say, look, 10,000 people downloaded it. The reality is, I don't care about metrics. I don't care about vanity. What I care about is, was the time you spent on my podcast worthwhile to you? So the number one thing I do, and this is how I love to help people, is when I interview somebody for my podcast, I will introduce you to other guests that I think would be a good fit for you. So that's how I love to help people. And so rather than asking me, Jeff, would you mind introducing me to one person in your network? Feel free if you think you'd be a good fit for my show. I have the link below. I'd love to talk to you about it. And what I do is I don't have a pre screening process. What I do is you fill out the speaker intake form. We will get on a call. We'll talk about what you do. And if I think it's a fit for the show, we'll publish it. If it's not a fit, we won't. But you'll know that up front. And spoiler alert, most people get published. And the reason is I love hearing how other people are either converting, attracting, converting, or delivering. So if you think you'd be a fit, if you do anything that is unique in your business or you help other businesses, let's chat. And as I said, then I'm happy to introduce you to the other guests on my show. Or as I also recommend, you can introduce yourself and you could say, I was on Jeff's show. I'd like to chat with you if you think it's a fit. Every one of my guests gets the preface that you should be willing and able to connect with other people who've been on the show. And that to me is my way of helping people. And I really, really love helping. It's just, again, there's only so many hours in the day. There's only, there's almost 8 billion people on the planet. I can't connect everybody one to one. But if I happen to know somebody who has a large audience that needs to hear your message, I love connecting you with them so that it's win-win for both of you. So that's how I love to help, and I can help. Um, Otherwise, obviously, if I can connect you with somebody, that's my best, highest and best use of my time. So it needs to be a really meaningful, truly strategic connection rather than, I'm just looking for one client. So that's how I love to help people. Beyond that, obviously, we have the Clientology growth system, which is all about helping people spread the message and their influence. I hope that was useful. So think about, how can I help you? Would you be a fit to be on my podcast? I'd love to have you. Thank you.